Allendale Public Schools were closed today after the district received a threat. It was one of many districts across the state to receive a similar threat. News 8's Kyle Mitchell joins us now in studio with the latest. Kyle, what do we know about this threat today?
Katani, this threat came in early this morning, but it actually was made last night and left on a voicemail. District officials came in this morning, checked those voicemails over the weekend at about 6:40 or so, realized that there was a message left there indicating that there was supposedly a bomb in the high school. They later determined that this threat was not credible.
And Kyle, what did the superintendent of Allendale have to say about school closing?
Yeah, the superintendent said it really came at a challenging time because they already had buses rolling. They had middle school and high school students on those buses heading to school. So they had to make a pretty quick decision on whether or not to have school, and they didn't really have a lot of time to go through this threat.
And with the timing, like you just kind of said, how difficult is it to navigate this kind of threat?
It can be very challenging, especially, a lot of these threats come in through online. Usually they deal with social media. This case, it was a voicemail, but it was, hard to determine where this came from. And it can be, these threats could be in the community, they could be other states, they could be made even internationally in some cases, just with the internet and the ability to make these seemingly anonymous threats.
And you mentioned this was by voicemail, and we mentioned there were other, schools in the area that had threats too. Were they made similar ways or different?
Yeah, we identified about a half dozen or so, and some of those other districts that were kind of outside of West Michigan were saying that they also got a voicemail indicating the same thing, and those were determined to not be credible as well.
All right, Kyle, what do you have coming up for us tonight at 5?
Well, we will hear from the sheriff's office, we'll hear from the superintendent just about this trend of having to deal with cases like this, threats now coming from all sorts of forms, much more than they used to have to deal with. So a little bit how they navigate that and try to make sure that everybody stays safe.
Thank you, Kyle. We're looking forward to your report later tonight.